What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay McLovin here with Miss Celeste Marie Wilson on the Whiskey Hour on Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. If you like the content, please make sure you drop a subscribe on our Facebook page and also our YouTube page. We certainly appreciate that. Without further ado, man, Celeste, how you doing, young lady?
I'm doing well. Are you excited for Christmas?
Man, yes and no. Yes, I'm excited because, you always get to see family and all the food. Man, I love the food. It's gonna be so much food this year. We're making tamales.
We're having tamales.
Are y'all having tamales too?
We're having turkey tamales though. So.
Are you having you're doing the turkey tamale? Hey, that's all right. I don't know what we're doing. If I had to put my mind on it, it's probably gonna be a pork. My family typically does pork, but I love turkey too, man. It's healthy for you. Pork's not really healthy for you. Turkey's healthy for you.
Turkey's still in the season,
Yes, that it is. That it is. I mean, we're not that far removed, I guess, from Thanksgiving. It's weird. It's this weird conundrum. I don't know how you're dealing with the weather. It's been better today, but man, it's been cold a couple of days.
Ooh, it has been. And I'm not a cold weather person at all.
Yeah. I don't think many of us that live in Texas, we've been here too damn long, are going to be cold weather people. I don't even like wearing jackets. I'm only wearing it today just because it feels comfortable. But I typically only like to wear jackets. If I can get by with just shorts and a t-shirt, some rock t-shirts and Converse tissues or whatever, man, I'm all for that lifestyle. I don't know. Maybe I need to move to Puerto Rico or something and just chill, enjoy retirement. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Man, I'm telling you, because at Puerto Rico, they have that good weather all year round. Yeah. All year round. And it's on our economy, so it wouldn't be too much of a switch, really.
No, because they're still part of the United States.
Yeah. So I think I could probably do that. And they like I said, they have that good weather. I think a friend of mine's from Puerto Rico, he said they get usually it's around 72 for the most part all year. So I could do 72. No problem. Put me a little light fan out there. Man, I'm straight. Well, without further ado, today, Celeste, we are talking music videos today. Best music videos ever. I gave you my 3. You gave me your 2. And by the way, she didn't do 3 because she did a Taylor Swift one. So it's going to be interesting. I watched all of them. And again, I thought it was amazing. So it's going to be a fun time talking this with you. First video up for talking about is going to be... Well, actually, before I do that, I should probably go over. This is where you can find all of our content on our link trees, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, we're there. And if you want to find Celeste, you can find her on CelesteMarieWilsonMusic.com and Celeste Marie Wilson on Facebook. She's all over the place. Check her out. And with that, and also don't forget if you use 10%, if you use ESEN on W, you can get those energy drinks for them times when you get on the road, Celeste. And you knew you didn't have enough sleep the night before, but you're going to brave it anyway. Well, pop you some Dubby. It won't give you the frills, and yet it will still keep you energetic. Dubby, the drink that nobody can live without. Yes, I made that up. First video, Cut You In by Jerry Cantrell. All right, Celeste, this is how we're going to do this. Since these are my videos, you're going to be the one commenting. We're going to watch the video, and then when the video is done, you're going to give me what you thought about it and what you took away from it. And then I'll tell you what I thought. Here we go. And let me see if I get the bing.
I don't think it's giving me the sound, Jay.
Oh, it's not giving you the sound? Damn.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, I was worried about that. I didn't know if it was going to go through with the sound or not. That's okay. All right. That's okay. I
watched them all already, so.
Man, yeah, I'm surprised. I guess I don't know how. I'll have to get with Logan. Again, this is what happens when your producer's at work and you need your producer, but that's okay. We're going to make do with that. Anyway, first song was Cut You In. Obviously, it's a guy that's in the 70s, or I felt like it had a 70s vibe. I love how Jerry has a single long stem mustache. But Celeste, what did you take away from that?
Well, I'm kind of a single mustache hater. If you want to have facial hair, you got to go all the way, Jay.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's one cutting it, but I don't know. You can do a lot of cool stuff though. With single mustaches though too, man. You can you get the little mustache wax, and you can kind of curl it up a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, I'm an all or nothing person. I don't like to shave, so I'm not shaving. But whatever.
Well, you know, I don't have nothing to shave.
God, I hope not. If you did, they'd be having completely different issues.
But with a mustache.
Oh, no. I don't think we're doing hair on the face, Celeste. You're a woman. We got to keep you like a woman. No, we're not trying. Oh Lord, could you imagine Celeste with it? Oh Lord, Steve.
Would I be a beautiful man?
You are, yes. I don't know about a masculine man, but you'd be a beautiful man. And I guess into today's society, a beautiful man will work. But yeah, tell me what did you think about Cut You In? Was there anything way you took away from what Jerry did on this one?
I really enjoyed it. And actually, when I was watching it, I don't know if you've seen Sabrina Carpenter's music video, Man Child, but I didn't realize how much inspiration she took from him. And I was watching it, and I was like, wow, she like a lot of what was in her music video was taken from this one.
Yeah. One of the things I liked about Jerry was he went away from his typical sound. You know, he usually has a more darker, deeper, contrasted sound. And this one, it was a little bit faster rhythm. Obviously, there was a lot of acoustic guitar in it. But it was not a typical Jerry Cantrell video. It was almost like out of Dazed and Confused. If you've ever seen the movie Dazed and Confused, I don't know if you've ever seen that, Celeste. Okay. Then your next homework assignment, write this down. Get a pen and paper. All right. You write down Dazed and Confused. No, you don't worry about it. I'm going to text it to you, Celeste. I'll text it to you. But basically, I'll put you on the spot there. Then I'll text you. But you have gotten, between now and Wednesday, your homework assignment is to watch Dazed and Confused. That is a requirement. You hear me? Dazed and Confused. Write that down. Dazed and Confused. Okay. It really is. It's I mean, in one, and then when you see it, you're gonna be like, okay, when you watch it, there's gonna be a character in there that's played by, and I can't remember his first name, but I know it's played by Matthew McConaughey. It's Matthew McConaughey's character, okay? Yeah, he's in there. There's a lot of people in there, but Matthew McConaughey was one of them. And then when you see Matthew McConaughey's character, you're gonna go back and think about Jerry Cantrell and Cut You In, because it's a very similar feel to it.
Okay.
But I feel like with Cut You In, it really had kind of a grinding sound to it, when he was like dun 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 dun. You know, it was just like, that's not typical Jerry. Jerry is more, one strum but not the quick strum. He's never been much of a quick strumming type of guitar player. So I thought it was kind of interesting to see that. The bridge, where I felt like, it's almost kind of like when you look at most of Jerry Cantrell, because most of Alice in Chains stuff was written by Jerry. So typically when people listen to Jerry's solo stuff, it's kind of like, they're expecting Alice in Chains, right? They're expecting some sort of vibe from Alice. It's so hard for Jerry to break away from that. But I think in this song, he did kind of break. Like, he separated himself from the typical Alice in Chains sound, which is if you listen to Boggy Depot or Degradation Trip or any of the other solo albums that he's put out, it's very Alice in Chains feel to it.
Yeah.
But what I thought was interesting about that video, and a lot of people may not have realized it, but Sean Kinney, which is a drummer for Alice in Chains, is the guy that stole the car from Jerry Cantrell when he was at the gas station.
Oh, dang.
So if you remember watching it, Jerry actually gets in the car. He's hitchhiking. The guy picks him up. They go to the gas station. The dude gets out of the car. Jerry gets out of the car, goes to the bathroom, comes back, and Sean Kinney has stolen his car and his girl, and now they're taking off, going down the road. So it's kind of like you steal it, and then it gets stolen from you. And that's kind of the way he's like, I'm gonna cut you in. Like, I'm gonna cut you in on. Have you ever heard the saying "cut you in"? Like, I'm gonna cut you in.
Isn't that like a gambling thing?
I don't know if it's so much a gambling thing. It's just like when
I guess fill you in.
No, cut you in is kind of more like, hey, I got this project. I know you do over there, but I kind of like you over here helping them out. So I'm gonna cut you in. So I'm gonna cut you in on part of what I'm doing. It's just like saying, hey, I want you to come hang out or come hang out with me or whatever, So I'm gonna cut you in. That's kind of what he's saying. That's a very loose translation of cut you in.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So again, it has a very country, even kind of almost like a samba rhythm style to it with the guitar playing. You know, I don't know if you picked up on that.
I did. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you know,
I also really liked. I don't know what filter you call it, the filter that was over the film.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Wait, say that one more time.
The filter that was over the film, like.
Oh yeah. No, and I think that was done on purpose to kind of give it that feel, that old age feel to it. No, I know what you're talking about, because it didn't look like completely bright. It looked like there was something in front of it, like kind of put like a haze or like a slight, like a. Yeah, I got what you're saying. So, okay, so then we go from there to the next video, which was Queen. Now everybody knows Queen. But what I like about Queen is I like how, you know, I've always loved Freddie as an entertainer. I mean, the guy is just incredible as an entertainer. I like how they kind of combine the opera faces along with the actual concert footage. What did you think about Bohemian Rhapsody?
Well, Bohemian Rhapsody is one of the first songs I remember, like, ever growing up. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's like the first song I really remember listening to is Bohemian Rhapsody, and I was in my mom's car. It's a very vivid memory. I was in my mother's car in the minivan, waiting to pick up my brother from elementary school. I just got out of preschool, you know. So they got out after us because we didn't need to stay that long. I'd already finished my coloring homework. And my mom was listening to this song, and it was so good. And of course, the only reference I had was VeggieTales. So I look at my mom and I go, "Is this from VeggieTales?" Because in my head, VeggieTales was very good, and anything that was good had to be from VeggieTales. I was like, "Is this from VeggieTales?" My mom said, "No, this is Queen." And it was raining outside. And so I was sitting there, I'm probably about 3 or 4. And I'm sitting there leaning against the little car thing and my car seat buckled in, listening to Bohemian Rhapsody while it's raining. And that's like the first song I remember hearing.
Right.
And so, of course, I'm a huge Queen fan growing up because of it. And so, of course, I've seen Bohemian Rhapsody, the music video before. But it was fun to just like kind of like take a minute and sit there and watch it, because there's a lot of music videos that are super crazy high budget. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like
absolutely.
Where it's not really like a music video anymore. But the one thing that I do really, really like about the Bohemian Rhapsody music video is it is like that traditional music video, like with the performance shots and the cool visuals. Like it is that like old school music video. And I just really enjoyed sitting there and watching it, because like, you know that's a thing in your head. I've seen it before, but you kind of forget it is because you're so used to the modern music videos that are like up here and super complicated. Yes. But to see just that performance shot and then that iconic scene of like just the heads and it's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I liked about it. Number one, you're a piano player, and the piano that Freddie plays in Bohemian, I mean, the piano is just amazing. I mean, outside of Elton John and his piano playing, I mean, that was one of my favorite piano performances in a concert setting. You know, Freddie is incredible. What he can do with instruments is just, and the amount of octaves that his voice can, and the range that he can go up. I mean, it's incredible. And you know, it's funny because like when this song first came out in 1975, they were saying, "Hey, this song's way too long. It's not going to get any radio play," and it really didn't do as much back in the early times as it did when Wayne's World and them made it popular, right? And then when they put up their music video with that and everything, and I felt like when Wayne's World kind of put that out, then it kind of reinvigorated or gave new life to that Bohemian Rhapsody, and it really kind of took off on a life on its own. But just incredible stuff, man. And again, I like the effects, the special effects. I mean, for that time frame was pretty damn good. I thought with the way they had their faces like that singing, that was pretty dope. I mean, I was digging that.
Yeah, I did that too. It just is like I think Bohemian Rhapsody is one of those songs that, like, there's no way for people in the music industry will say, I know what's going to take off.
Right.
Nobody knows what's going to take off. And it's like just something that connects with people and we don't know why, kind of thing. And Bohemian Rhapsody is one of those songs where if you broke it down industry-wise, it shouldn't have done what it did and what it continues to do. But because of that human emotion thing, it does.
And it's interesting. A couple of things are interesting. While we're talking about that, about Queen like that, Queen is one of those, like, and you know this, they have, you can't, and this is just like you are, Celeste, you really can't pigeonhole them into one category. Like, they're pretty, like, even he said, hey, look, Queen is everything. We can do whatever we want. You let me know what country you want country, disco you want disco, rock you will give you rock, opera will give you opera. I mean, they can literally do any and everything. And I kind of see, it's kind of where I see you. You kind of do a lot of different things. So and so it's good to see, because I feel like when you're not pigeonholed into one style, that you're relatable to everybody and not just one particular sector of people that vibe on that kind of music, and which I think is kind of helps them be relatable even decades and decades later, even like somebody of your age versus my age, and on, right? It's what do you think? I mean, do you kind of agree with that? How their versatility is what kind of made them endure so long?
Yeah, I think some of it is that, and then I think some of it is from everything I know about them, Freddie Mercury was so stubborn that he was going to write what he thought and what he felt. Yeah. And I think because that was not swayed, it wasn't like, oh, if you say this, it's going to be really cool. If you do this, it's going to be really deep. Or if you say this, people are going to laugh. It wasn't that. It was just, I feel this way.
Right.
Whether it be fun and happy and silly, like, fat bottom girls, or whether it be something that, is more serious.
Right.
It was genuinely what that band was feeling and what the writers were feeling. And that is what makes a timeless song.
Oh, absolutely. Totally wanted to. And I like it. Go ahead.
What point in human history, no matter what era we're in or what generation, how old we are, we have the same core feelings.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I like how Brian May's guitar and Freddie's pianos, I felt like they were kind of dueling each other a little bit in the song, I mean, they just both had their sections where they would do their solos or their main parts, and it was just it's cool to see two instruments going at each other in the same song, but it flows so well, and I like how the song, it's soft in certain parts, it's high in certain parts, it's low in certain parts, it's loud in certain parts. I mean, you're all over the range. Audio wise in that song, and really even in the video, you're kind of all over the place a little bit, but it all works.
Absolutely.
Crazy. All right, so the third song and the final song for me before we get into yours was Buddy Holly by Weezer, and I told you I was going to give you that one.
One of my favorites are the ones you chose, by the way.
Yes, I figured you would like. Well, again, Weezer is one of those kind of groups that, man, they can make 1950s look current or seem cool. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way they do it and the way they pull it off. But so what struck out to you most about Buddy Holly?
Honestly, it's like the aesthetic of it all.
Yeah.
It's like the dancing in there, the singing in there, like in this, like, I don't know what you call it, like restaurant kind of thing. It was very like familiar, very like, oh, like this is how you start out kind of thing. Like that kind of thing was just, I don't know, I found it really appealing.
So that show so basically what that was, what you were realizing and what you were recognizing was Happy Days. They incorporated Happy Days in Buddy Holly. So have you ever seen the show Happy Days? Mm-hmm. You tell I'll text it to you. You got to watch 1 or 2 episodes of Happy Days. And when you see, and you can find it, I mean, all you got to do is Google it. You'll find it. But when you watch Happy Days and they're in the restaurant or whatever scenes, you'll be like, oh my God, that's Buddy Holly video all over the place. Even Al, So like the guy goes, yeah, and he walks off. That was Al from Happy Days. That was Fonzie. I mean, yeah, this was all Happy Days. Anyway, that's what I thought was so damn cool because they took Happy Days and made it into they took that scene and all those characters and then made it into a video.
I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah. When you see them, because they're singing in the video, right? They're singing I think they had the barbershop type quartet stuff while they're singing. And then all the ones that were sitting on all the seats and Fonzie, the dude that was doing the dance like that was Fonzie, which is Henry Winkle. Yeah. Yeah. See, now next time you go watch it, you're going to be like, damn, that's what made that video so recognizable.
Dang.
Happy Days. Put it on the list. I'll text it to you. We're doing the text.
So weird that people said you cannot see something, but there's like a group conscience where you know what it is. What is that?
Yeah. And Pat Morita was in that video too. Mr. Guy to play Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid.
Oh, dang. I haven't seen Karate Kid either.
Yeah. Oh man, you're missing. What? You gotta talk to your mom. You gotta be reading too many books. But you're right. I mean, it is very high energy. It is very fun and nostalgic, right? I mean, and I think that's, when I think of Weezer, I think of a band that is not meant to be taken seriously because most of their music is kind of just off the cuff fun, right? Kind of silly fun or whatever. Now, there are some stuff like if you go look at the Tiny Desk concert, now he does get a little deep on that one, but pretty much when you see him in concert, the majority of his songs are very upbeat and kind of crazy, silly fun, right? Energetic, high energy, and fun. So, yeah, if anybody has not seen Buddy Holly by Weezer, I highly suggest you go check it out. And then when you see them in concert, they will do that song for you acoustically, and I think you'll enjoy it. So check out Weezer. Obviously, if you've not seen Jerry Cantrell live and in person, go see Jerry Cantrell. If you like guitars and you like chords that contrast a lot, go see Jerry. His concerts are really, really good. The individual AIC is good, but even on his own, he is really, really good. And I think you'll enjoy it. All right, let's move into yours. All Too Well off the Red album about Jake Gyllenhaal. This is yours. Talk to me about what you took away, and I'll say what I took away.
Okay. The reason I chose this one is because I feel like most people, not everyone, but most people have been in a relationship where it's like that falling out of love kind of. And Taylor Swift in this music video, I think, did a great job of showing how a relationship breaks down.
Yes.
Like they start and they're so in love, and it's not a big thing. It's a million little things. And so the short film, when it's like done together, when you sit down and watch it all the way through, like you see it all, but it doesn't end with her being like broken. It doesn't end with her being hurt. It ends with her finding a way to turn that pain kind of into her own power, which I thought was cool because we had been talking about all of the artists that you'd brought up that did something very, very similar to that. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, All Too Well will be the perfect video because it reminds me of, just all of these, and it's silly because she doesn't have the same sonic composition, right? But all of these like rockers that have been isolated and things like that, or dated someone and it didn't work out because that person did like a million little things where they made them feel unwanted. And I was like, it's that same sentiment that is so relatable.
No, absolutely. I mean, again, Taylor Swift did a really good job directing it and writing it. I mean, she did a really, really good job. And I found it was interesting. It was on 35 millimeter film, which was really cool that they did that. And you're right. It felt like, he was hiding her. It felt like in that relationship, like he didn't want to be seen, in that. Or it seemed like when he was sitting at the table and she put her hand on his, and he kind of like put it up, he took it off, put it like next to the side. Like he didn't want people to know that they were together, it seemed like, right? Like she was being hidden or something, which is crazy because that was one thing. Heartbreak, I wrote that on. Age dynamics, I wrote that on there. As age gap was a big dynamic. The emotional depth that Taylor put into that video, or that story, was incredible. And again, I thought they had warm colors and cool colors all kind of working together, and it's just the way that she presented it to you was really cool. Again, I bought into the relationship. I felt it was very realistic. I thought, a lot of people go to that where you're in this relationship and he doesn't want to do PDA. He doesn't. It's almost like he's ashamed to hold your hand or show affection with you or anything. And then ultimately he lets you go or breaks up or whatever. And then he realizes, man, I really miss her. I want her back. And then it's kind of like where you see at the end of it where he's kind of looking and seeing her play in there. And he's like, I think he's wanting her back, but he knows it's done.
Yeah. Because it's that some people, and it's not like a boyfriend or girlfriend thing. It just is some people are terrified of like committing.
Yeah. That fully going in and saying, all right, this is it.
Yeah, like there's some people who are just like so avoidant of having someone being there to be their only person and for everyone around them to know it's their only person is terrifying. And so they just run. And I was like, that's such a cool, like it's sad, but it's such a cool way to depict it. And it was a cool way to build on a song that is like for the Swifties. All Too Well is one of like the Swifties' favorites.
Yeah.
Like the Swiftie song. And so to build on that story and not only make her song longer, the 10-minute long song, I mean, that's a long song.
It is a long song. So I ate popcorn and it was beautiful.
Yeah. So 10 minutes long, and then to expand on it even more.
Yes.
By making it like a short film, that's cool. And it was cool to see her in a different like we know she's a songwriter, we know she's a singer, we know she plays guitar, we know she plays piano, but she can direct too. Like she's a storyteller, and she has all these different facets of how she can tell stories. And she's not super showy about it either. Like a lot of people don't know unless you really sit down and like want to learn about Taylor Swift kind of thing. But it's like you never hear about it. But then when you see it, you're like, dang, she's kind of good at directing.
Yeah, and I like how she casted it. Like I think Dylan played the male role, and he was 34 years old. And I think her name was JD Sink that played the female, and she was like 23 years old, which is about an 11-year age gap. Which was why I thought, when you look at the relationship, you see the older versus and the younger, and they're like, how can that ever really work? And then you see sometimes it can and sometimes it can't. And this is just one of those times where it felt like it was awkward, or he made her feel awkward. He made her feel invisible, right. In a lot of parts of it. And I think that was kind of the breaking point for her. I think when he took her hand, like when he took her hand off of his, I felt like that was part of the breakdown that she was going through.
Yeah, it was. That's what I was saying. It was like one of those tiny moments where it's like you want, because when you're with someone, like what's so beautiful about being with someone is that, I think it's like a commitment to witness somebody else's life, and that's what's beautiful about it. And it's like the commitment to be seen by someone, because you can't really be seen by everyone.
Right.
But when you're with someone, it's taking the time to like actually know them, actually study them, actually hold their hand. Like life is hard for everybody. So that commitment to be there and just have one other person who's willing to, go through everything with you is really beautiful. And so when someone who you think is going to be that person for you won't even hold your hand at a dinner party.
Like, what are we doing? Did you find it interesting though? I'm gonna ask you, what was okay? What was I'm gonna quiz you on this one, because I thought it was there, and I didn't pick up until the very end of it. So when he comes up to the door at the very end of it, and he sees her in the restaurant or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
What was he wearing that was interesting? What he was wearing? There was one article.
The red scarf.
Don't you love how they brought that? Because she left it in his car, and then they broke up, whatever. And then when he comes back, he's wearing the scarf that she left. It's almost kind of like, I hate to say it, it's kind of creepy, stalker. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
The way it ended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I understand what they were trying to portray, like him showing. But to me, when he comes up and he's wearing the scarf, that's kind of creepy weird.
It is kind of creepy weird.
That's creepy weird to me. Like my creep meter's going off. Anyway,
Jay's like,
I just thought it was interesting.
Well, like some guys are like that. You don't. It's like, oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Maybe I should not have talked to him. This did not go as well as I thought it was gonna go. But you know, I just that's one of the things though that I liked about how Taylor did it. Amongst all the things that we talked about, the details, all the little details, were crazy to me. Like the fact that he had the red scarf on, you know, and how she tied that back in from the beginning of the video to the end of the vehicle, and the semblance of like he lost her, but he had the scarf, I guess, as a memory of her or whatever. You know, but it's just the details that Taylor did that I thought for me made it a very well-rounded storyline. Even though it had a kind of a creepy end, it was still I get where she was going with that, you know, and that's one of the things that I think makes a good video and a good storyteller. You know, is the way she tells a story, you know, and I think people that are able to tell stories, like you're a very good storyteller when you do your shows, you know, those are the people that will have. You could probably write your own music video, because if you have the ability to write, well, then all you got to do at that point is just throw the characters in the story and let's roll. You know, as long as you have a good director, producer, or whatever. But I think you know, that's one of the things that I really resonated was how good of a storyteller Taylor really is. I mean, not only what we heard on Tiny Desk, because we got the audio version of that, but then you see it in the visual form of that in the video of All Too Well. So you see multiple different ways, at least on the Whiskey Hour, we brought you multiple different ways by Celeste of how well Taylor can tell a story.
Right.
It's a good gift.
It is a good gift.
Jeez, I wish I could. I mean, I could tell some fibs, but they weren't that good. No, I'm just kidding. No, I got in trouble. I could tell some good stories though. I had a really active imagination as a kid.
By Jake Gyllenhaal. We'll just get Jake Gyllenhaal to break up with you, Jay.
You know, I mean, hey, that's all you gotta do. Jay, shaky boy. All right. Next song we're gonna go to is Gracie Adams. I love you. I'm sorry.
Abrams, here we go.
So I'm gonna let you start this one off, and then I'm gonna chime in. What did you take away from "I Love You, I'm Sorry" by Gracie Adams? If you haven't seen it, it really is a really. And by the way, all these videos that were put on there, I've enjoyed all of them. Even the ones that Celeste has given, I really enjoy them. If you haven't seen Taylor Swift All Too Well, go watch it. Anyway, Gracie Adams, I love you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So Gracie Abrams, I was like, I felt like I could feel it in my soul. I don't watch the videos you sent yet, but I knew somewhere in my head that you were going to have one with the dark filter on. I had not watched it, but I just knew it was going to happen. And I was like, I need to send him something that is very pastel. And I just know it. So I was trying to find things that had like cool kind of, because I feel like in the 80s and really the 80s music, a lot of them had that like cool filter stuff on it and whatever. And so that's a part of what made me think about All Too Well, because I felt like that was like visually the colors are really cool. Yeah. But then I Love You, I'm Sorry. It's that same kind of like color theory play, you know, where it's like, it's just really pretty. And then it's also, you know, it's kind of like, have you ever, everybody's liked somebody at some point in their life, whether they be little or older, that they know they should not. And they're like, oh my God, I like this person. I am so sorry. And so it's like that sentiment is so funny to me. And I was like, and the whole Gracie Abrams is just like, she is such a pretty girl. Like, she's so pretty. And her outfits are always pretty. And like, it's like this natural look where right. It's not, there's not this crazy, like it's very girl next door kind of thing. Yeah. And like, there's not any crazy makeup. It's not very over the top. Even like her production and her music is not crazy. It's very simple in a way that lets you like it feels like a diary entry.
Yes. Yes, yes. That's and I get what you're saying. I mean, I loved it when she got thrown off the swing. I thought that
Yeah.
was kind of I thought that was kind of a funny part. Um, yeah. I just what was that part? And I wrote this in my notes, and I was trying to go back. I didn't. I think I wrote somewhere she bites off the head of something. Oh, and sings, and oh, that's what it was. She bit the head off the was it the coconut or something? In a pineapple, I think it was, or something. Remember when she bites it, she starts singing? No, it was like a drumstick or something. I think it was maybe.
Yeah.
I think it was a drum. You know what I'm talking about? Where she has a microphone and she takes it, she starts singing in the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was just some funny parts in there that I took away. I was like, man, okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect that. I mean, I think what it is. There's a lot of things I didn't expect.
Yeah. It's kind of that feeling of like, you know how you act absolutely crazy when you like somebody?
Yes.
I was like, that was like such a vibe. Because nobody, no matter who you are, like liking somebody, if you think about it and break it down in your head, it's kind of weird. Like, if you think about it, the person you're with is just some stranger you decided to trust one day. Like,
and those are the ones that, you know, we find out about on the Channel 2 news. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, I mean, you know, usually when you dive in too quick, you don't know somebody, man, you better hope they aren't, you know.
Yeah. It's
just
like,
saying.
Isn't that so weird? Like, everybody who you've been with, it's like, it's just some person that, like, they're like your person now, but when you first met them, they were just a stranger kind of thing.
I wrote this one line down. It says, "I love you, but I'm sorry. That's the truth." I mean, I kind of wrote that line down, and I feel like, I mean, I guess it depends on how you say it, right? If you say, "I love you, I'm sorry, I'm with somebody else," or "I love you, I'm sorry, but I can't do this because, you know, you're not the right person." I mean, you could almost take that in a couple of different directions. I like how they portrayed it in the song, but you could have almost taken that and went a couple of different ways. I felt like with it.
I agree. And it could also be like, "I love you, I'm sorry." Like the other person just doesn't love you, kind of thing.
Right. It's almost like it was very raw and very honest, and you can see the feelings of regret after the relationship ends, kind of thing. You know, and I gotta tell you, I have been in my 53 years of life, you know, when I was dating, you know, and there would be times when, you know, the relationship just didn't work out. We were just two different people or whatever the case was at that particular time. And it does, man. There have been sometimes where I felt like, man, I really regret. I wish I would have done this or this or this. Maybe I would have had a different outcome in the relationship or whatever, you know, whatever the case was, you know. So I definitely know the part of regret in relationships, you know. And I think that's a part of it. I think, you know, in every relationship you get into, there's always going to be something that you're going to regret. I mean, because we're humans and we make mistakes. And then and then sometimes we regret the things that we do, we say, or whatever.
Or the things we don't do.
Or the things you don't do. Or maybe the things you don't say when you could have had that opportunity and you could have said, you know, I mean, how many times, you know, do you like, man, I wish I would have got the nerve up to go talk to this person or that person. You know, I've had that even in my life, you know, as crazy and outgoing as I am. You know, there've been a few women that I wish I would have kind of, in my younger days, I wish I would have gone up and said hi to or whatever. But man, they were so beautiful. It was just like, I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I chickened out. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. And I do, and I regret that. I mean, there's a lot of things I regret. That's one of the things I definitely regret. And I do regret. Sometimes I think I fall too easily when I was younger. I mean, I was kind of naive coming out of, you know, out of the house, and I went into the military, and I was kind of naive about the world. And I mean, I learned about the world in a whole different country for the most part. You know, my dad, he kind of gave me a couple of loose little tidbits of information, but really, Jay found out about the world in Japan. And in Japan, you get every walk of life. I mean, every walk of life, from every country, every nationality, every body type, skin type, hair type, eye type, whatever it is that does it for you. They got them all out there. And it's like a pleasure world of candy, and you're just falling in love all over the place. Falling in love, falling out of love.
Uh-oh. Jay was a player when he was younger.
Oh man, yes.
Oh
Yes.
no.
But you know, and here, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Now there are two schools of approach. I feel like in this world, there's the one school of approach that, you know, I'm going to save myself until marriage, and then that's when we're going to explore that side of life. I kind of feel like you're shooting yourself in the foot. You know, because how do you know if you're 100% really compatible on a lot of things? I don't know. I'm just saying there are things there. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like, and we talked about regret, and we talked about commitment. But how do you know to be committed if you haven't had some life experience to know what you're committing to? Do you see what I'm saying? Like I feel like, and I would tell my son, I say, listen, killer, now. You know, as an adult, we gotta, wear protection because we don't want to have no babies until we're ready to have babies or until you're ready for marriage. You know what I'm saying? So Jack, I encourage all young kids. Hey, be players, have fun, go out there, experience the world, see what's about, see what all the lefts, the rights, the upside. Because let me tell you something, Celeste, and I guarantee you, I promise you this: when you get married. And it's just a one specific person. Now, I'm not saying this is everybody, so I don't want to lump it into that. But there is a large population that will tell you that, well, if I married this one and I'm 100 years and this is all that, you can't tell me in that marriage that they're not wondering, man, I wonder if I would have dated there's always something, either whether it be attractiveness or personality or whatever, that you kind of wonder. I wish I would have done this or this before I said, okay, this is the one, and I'm gonna spend my whole life. Because how do you know what you're missing out on? You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's different for everybody. It also just is where you stand, what you want, and everybody has kind of a different view on it. Like there's no one size fits all.
And that is true. Boy, I tell you what, that is true.
It's like for me, I hated going out on first dates. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want no one to touch my hand. Sure as heck didn't want anyone to kiss me. And it wasn't because I'm like, oh, this and this and this. It's just I don't like it. I don't know you. And I know that's so sassy, but I'm like, I don't know you. I don't want you to touch me. I don't want you to hug me. I don't know who you are. You're just So it depends on the person and their preferences. But there are some people who do prefer to do whatever. And my attitude is that if they're an adult and it's their body and they're respectful and they're respectful to the people they're with, it's none of my business.
Oh, yeah. No. And again, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I feel like like dating freedoms. I guess what I'm saying, date around when you're young, because you only get young one time, and you only get life experiences, one time. And I always say, I feel like the best way to avoid divorce is to go into a marriage with no regrets in your life, no wonderings, no nothing. Because when you're fully committed, you want to be happy and 100% sure in that commitment. Because once you're committed, you're committed. Now, that's the way I was brought up. I was brought up when you're committed, you're committed. Now, in today's day and age, divorce is all over the place. It's left, right, up, down. It's almost a norm, it seems like, in some cases. But, and that's why I feel like, in your 20s, you should be dating. By late 20s, you should be settling down. Like man, 27, 28, you should have already had a lot of fun. And then now it's time to, not that you're going to get married, but you should start narrowing it down to, I had my fun. And what I took away from dating all these different people before now is now I know what my boxes look like. And what I mean by boxes is, I feel like everybody should have a checkbox for what they're looking for in a relationship. And you may hit, you may come up with like 7 or 8 boxes that you feel like, you need to check in that person to make it a relationship. I'm like, look, as long as you check the most important ones, like trustworthiness, faithfulness, I guess those kind of go together, right? Open, honest communication, things like that. If you check all them boxes, education, whatever, But how do you know what the boxes are if you haven't dated anybody to know what you're really looking for, what you really want? Because what you want at 22 could be different at 29.
And I'm gonna do my little disagreement with you. My question is, boxes from person to person aren't the same.
Right.
And so that makes it hard. So sometimes a box that is like how I define trustworthiness is not going to be how everybody defines it.
Oh, for sure.
People sometimes will come to you and say they're trustworthy, and you don't realize they aren't until you're years into a relationship.
And that is true.
We can narrow down and try to make as many boxes as we want and all these other things, but I think the only way we can really tell is by spending a lot of time with someone and figuring it out that way. Because no matter how
absolutely
down to save our feelings, like the best thing, how do I phrase this? If you're in a relationship, no matter what you do, your heart's going to be broken. Because there are two options.
Yeah.
Either they're going to leave you, or someone's going to die and someone's going to leave you. And those are the only two options. Nobody's immortal. No matter what you do, your heart's going to be broken. But we're so afraid of pain that we won't just sit there and like go, oh, this is going to hurt. But it's like not about it hurting. It's about the ride kind of thing. So it's if your ride and your journey as an individual is to date a lot of people in your early 20s and you have fun and that's how you have fun, awesome. But if someone meets someone in their early 20s and they want to get married and that's how they have fun, awesome. But it just, like I said, it depends on the person, and a lot of it's like it's like luck.
Yeah.
You know, finding that person that matches with you is just luck, and it could happen at any point in your life. Some people don't meet their soulmates until they're like 40 or 50, but they're still lucky because they met them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I find interesting about the Taylor Swift video, All Too Well, and the age gap that she put between the actors and things of that nature, because I feel like those are usually the relationships, and I'm sure there are some out there that survive it, but a guy at 45 and a young lady in her 20s, mid 20s, or even in some cases, I think 30s, there was 11-year age gap. So in her 30s, they may be at two different levels in life. You know, I mean, if there's an 11-year age gap, you know, and you're 60 and your partner, if you get married and your partner's 60 and you're 49, is that going to bother you?
Right.
You know, or what have you? You know, it's interesting, the whole dating thing. And I'm glad that Taylor brought that up in her video, because I do think that there's a lot of, you know, big age gap relationships that go on nowadays. And I wonder how many of those actually work out and how many of those actually wind up in heartbreak or not where you thought it was going to go.
How big of an age gap do you think is too big, Jay?
Man, I tell you, I think for me, 5 years left or right. That would be my parameter. So I can go. Now, obviously, I'm not going to, you know, if I'm 19, I'm not going to date a 12-year-old. So let's be realistic. But, you know, I would say, like if I'm in my 50s right now, I would probably date 5 years younger or 5 years older. Right. If I'm 25, I probably would date a 21-year-old. I don't think I'd go quite to 20 because I can't drink. And I think that's kind of a weird thing. I want to at least date somebody that's legal. If I'm legal, they should be legal if I'm dating them. Just because, you know, things that they want to do, things that I want to do, whatever, social scenes, whatever. I think it makes it kind of hard sometimes. So, yeah, I would say 5 years, you know, given the situation generally, 5 years left or right. What about you? What do you think is too big?
Same rule.
Yeah.
I can't really 5 years down at 22, but I don't really.
I mean,
5 years up, yes. 5 years down won't work for me.
You want to hear something funny? I'm gonna tell you something funny. So my ex-wife, her cousin, who was in her 30s at the time, about 32, 33. Now, this woman had 2 degrees. She had a degree in pharmaceutical sales, and she also had a degree as a lawyer, right? And so she had her money, and she was well off. She didn't really need anything. She didn't need anybody for anything. I mean, she had it all on her own. But there's always people that want more in this life, that want more than what they have in this life. And she wound up marrying a gentleman that was 72 years old. And she was 32. Yeah. And the only condition of it was she couldn't cheat on him. And she had to give him a baby, hopefully a son. Well, she did that. And in return, she got a $15 million house and she got a $15 million installment into her bank account. And the paperwork was signed on her wedding day. Now, how crazy is that?
That's crazy.
But but again, there's people in this world, though, Celeste, that that do that. And again, everybody has what motivates them in this world, right? Some people are love motivated, some people are attractive motivated, some people are personality motivated, some people are wealth motivated. It just depends. Everybody has something that motivates them. For me, I kind of I like a good even matchup between all three. If I can get someone who has a job, who is attractive and has a good personality and I get along with, that's kind of, that's very vague, but that was kind of my parameters, and obviously, you got to find some common ground, I think, in a relationship. And I wonder if in All Too Well, and even in the Gracie Adams, I Love You, I'm Sorry, if there were some unrealistic expectations when those relationships were formed in those, that they were portraying, like how that would have played out, It's interesting.
I also think sometimes, and of course I could be wrong, this is coming from a female singer's perspective, but sometimes I think when you're successful as a woman, sometimes it makes it kind of hard to date. There's guys, not all guys, but there are a lot of guys that want to be, they want you to be successful, they want to be more successful than you, kind of thing. They want to feel like they're in charge. And so there are a lot of guys that like when that's not, if you were dating Taylor Swift and she's a billionaire, would you buy a billionaire for her birthday?
Man, here's how I look at that. First of all, she is, because Jason Kelce is only worth about 90 million. 90 million is a lot less than 700 or 800 or a billion. So yeah, he's kind of in that role where she really truly is. She is the top of her profession right now in terms of, earnings and things. How do you measure it by, right? And Kelsey's kind of like, if you look at Kelce, he's kind of like, he's not like the elite of the elite, but he's not middle of the row. He's just a good tight end. So he's not really at the top of his profession as much as Taylor is in hers.
And there are guys where it doesn't bother them. It doesn't bother Travis Kelce at all. He is successful. He works very hard. He does all the things, and he's proud of Taylor Swift for doing what she does. But there are quite a few guys that are not you'll go, the story I have of when I went on that one really bad date and the guy wanted to change everything about me. It's like they're intimidated kind of thing. And that does swing both ways for girls and boys. But of course, I've never been a boy, so I don't know what that's like. So, I only speak from a female perspective.
I think if you're dating somebody, if I was dating a billionaire, if I was dating somebody in Taylor Swift's realm of wealth, there's nothing you can get her there's nothing you could buy for her that's going to be, oh my gosh, because she could go out and buy everything herself. So I think when you get to that level, or when you get to that point, you've got to go outside the box. And that's why I think the things that you make, or the things that you do, physically do, and the time that you spend in doing something for that person, I think that's what means more than the monetary gift itself, right? Because like I said, she has everything she needs. She don't need no man to go buy her something. She want to go buy a Rolls Royce, she'll go buy a Rolls Royce. But what she can't have is a guy or what she cannot buy, right? I don't care how much money you have. There are some people you cannot buy people's time and people's thoughts that they put into their gifts, right? So I feel like when you make a gift, no matter what it is, right? I feel like the thought that goes into that is so much more powerful because it took so much more time and effort than just going down there and giving somebody a debit card, picks up off the shelf and say, okay, that's her gift. By the way, could you wrap that for me before I go? I mean, I'm just saying, I always look at that's the way I judge gifts. I judge gifts by the amount of time that somebody puts into it. Whether it be thinking it, because maybe they give me a gift that I just needed. I didn't know I needed it, but I really do need it. Okay. Or if you're making the gift, I don't care. I mean, it's just the time and the thought that you put into it that means something. And I can imagine for Taylor, that's got to be the same way.
You're thinking about me, Ben.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I can go and buy you a $5 or $6 card, or I can make you a card.
And then it's better kind of thing.
I feel like it's better because it only takes me about 2 seconds to read a card, buy it, and give it to you. It takes me about 20, 25 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, how fast I can color, if I make you a card. And those are the ones, like I said, I don't care about the, I just care about the thought and what you put into the thought. Because that, if you put that kind of care or thought into something you gave me, then that really shows me how much you value me as a person. Right. Whether it be whether it be you as a friend, or whether it be a significant other in your life, or whether it be your mom, your dad, your brother. If you want somebody to know that they mean something to you, rather than just a generic acquaintance or whatever, those are the ones you buy the cards for. I feel like you should make your own. Guys, if you're out there, make your woman a card. I swear to God, it don't take much. I don't care. And the crap, you know what I'm saying?
That's going back to the All Too Well music video with the whole dropping the hand and the not paying attention and the ignoring your partner. It makes me so sad. Have you ever been at a party and you see a couple and it's like you can tell that like one of them's ignoring the other?
Oh yeah.
Reason?
Oh
like,
yeah.
That is such like a pet peeve of mine. I'm like, that has I know I shouldn't say anything because it's none of my business, but it's such a pet peeve because like there's always somebody that is down in the dumps about it, and it's always like, it's like, dang, that's rough, especially when they are together. Like it's one thing if they're not together and like somebody's kind of pining after somebody who's are like together and that's happening.
Right.
It makes you want to go, break up, please.
Because you can see it, right? You can see when one. Because I feel like if you're in my rule of thumb is like how when you give a speech, you look around the room, you come back around the room. I feel like when you're in a conversation with your woman or your man, you're going to be talking with people because that's part of socializing. Nothing wrong with socializing. But give a little attention to your husband while you're at it, or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. Like, hey, baby, what did you do about what he said? Or as long as you're keeping them actively involved, then it shows that you're not the ignorant. Because I get what it sucks when you're at a party with like your significant other, and they're talking with all these people, but you feel like, hey, where's my time, or where am I at in this place?
Say hello. It's like it takes no time to hold my hand while you're talking to your friends.
None at all. None at all.
Yeah, it's such a, I think for me, in terms of, you're talking about like the different boxes and what people find most attractive, for me, like it's almost all in like the kindness and attitude and how they treat me, because the rest can go away. At one point, the person I'm married to, we're going to be little old wrinkly prunes, and we're going to be old and wrinkly, whatever. Money can come, money can go. It's not a permanent thing,
Yeah.
Sometimes people are doing well, sometimes they're not. Like all of that is so temporary.
Oh, absolutely.
The only thing that's not is how they act and how they treat others, which in my opinion is like who they are. Like that's like the core of it.
Yeah. It's like when you see people away from you and you're watching. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Like I'm not outing anybody, but there was one guy that I thought was cute. Like not for me. I didn't think we were going to end up together or anything, but I saw him out and about, and he like sniffed at like a stage manager who was trying to help him get up on stage and stuff. And that was the most unattractive thing I think I'd ever seen in my life. Was like that just like disrespectful attitude. I was like, oh, ew. It's like there is nothing yuckier. It's like, the bad date that I got on stage. There's nothing that's more to me than the bad attitude and the being inconsiderate. and not caring about the people around you kind of thing.
No, I totally get that. No, I totally get that because again, you always know people always say people reveal themselves, and people tell you who they are.
Yes, they do.
I would tell this for anybody in a relationship or getting ready to get into a relationship or think about getting into a relationship. If somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them.
No,
because I think a lot of times people show you who they are, and we kind of turn a blind eye. I can pipe, and they kind of go, no, believe them. Because people will show you who they are. I promise you. It's the only piece of date advice I got. It's why I tell my daughter, when a man shows you who he is, believe him. I promise you. Same thing with a woman. Well, that brings us about an hour in. I appreciate Celeste. I know we went a little longer than we typically do, but I know you got things you got to get back to at the studio. If you like today's content, please give us a like and a subscribe in our YouTube channels. It's also in the description. Our link tree is. And also take a look at CelesteMarieWilsonMusic.com and check out all the things that she's got going on. And also you can find out where she's at, where she's going, any merchandise, songs, anything you want to know. It's all right there in that one website, CelesteMarieWilsonMusic.com. It's your boy Jay McLovin with Celeste Marie Wilson saying peace, love, and when they show you who they are, believe them.